What if I told you that within the last 30 days, I've given back more than $44,955 to at least 3 businesses, and I want you to do the same thing. Now, before we get into that, first, let me just introduce myself. My name is Taurea Vision Avant, and I am just an urban girl. In fact, urban actually stands for unapologetic, real bold, action-oriented, and non-conforming. And I've been blessed to be in business for more than 20 years. But don't get it twisted. The first 10 years, a hot mess, okay? Like, listen, I was all over the place. In fact, I used to like to say that I called myself a professional tripreneur because I would try any and everything under the sun. In fact, I actually suffered from a syndrome that is called IDD, something I came up with, and it stands for Inspired Deficit Disorder. Now, in the latter 10 years of me being an entrepreneur, I've come to also work with thousands of clients. And one thing I've also learned about my clients is they suffer from IDD too. It's a big challenge. In fact, we have a huge addiction when it comes to the business world. And that addiction is being addicted to our own labor. And so I tried to figure this thing out. Like, what is the challenge? Why is it that we're having so many difficulties with just staying focused and, working in one business? And I had to really dig deep, dig back. And I thought about my parents. When we needed more money in our household, you know what we did? My parents would get another job. In fact, I remember my neighbors. There were some of my neighbors who would work like 3 and 4 jobs. But my belief about 2, 3, and 4 businesses is that that's for 2, 3, and 4 people. But the hustle is praised. In fact, I also remember hearing sayings like, if it is to be, it's up to me. Hustle. If you want things done right, you got to do it yourself. Grind. One of my favorite songs, the lyrics go, hustle, 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 hard. Closed mouths don't get fed on the boulevard. The hustle is praised. If people don't see you working from sun up to sundown, they think you're not doing anything. In fact, if they see you working less, they feel like you shouldn't be making any money. But that is quite opposite of the truth. See, we are overworked and underpaid. We've got to learn how to work smart and be able to earn more. So how do we solve this? How can we fix this situation, the cases of the IDD? Well, I believe there's 3 solutions. The first, so we must focus on the one thing. Focus actually stands for follow one course until successful. Focus on the thing that you can become exceptional in. Focus on the thing that you can grow and be known in. In fact, focus on becoming the specialist, because the specialist makes way more money than the generalist. Focus, 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 and repeat. The second thing I want to task you guys with is strategic partnerships. Now, this goes back to the $44,955. Let me explain to you how that works. So what I've been able to do is I have been able to find clients, right? Incredible clients that I provide a product or a service with. And then what I do is I partner with other businesses that actually enhance my product and service. So it's a win-win-win situation. It's a win situation for my clients. It's because when they get what I give them, then I connect them with somebody else who takes that to another level, right? It enhances it. Now, it's a win for the person that I'm partnered with, is because they don't have to spend any marketing dollars for that potential referral. And they can actually give that marketing money back to who? Me, the third winner. See, that is how you build strategic partnerships. But you must also remember, in these partnerships, you cannot make assumptions. You can't do the verbal handshake. You literally need to have an understanding up front. Hey, look, when we partner, I'm going to send you people to work in this space. And if I send you someone, let's make a commission, right? Now, the key is not trying to have your hands in everything, not trying to do everything. And you can focus on the one thing that you can be good at and build those partnerships. And now, instead of having multiple businesses, you actually have multiple streams of income. And the third solution is patience. See, I like to equate my business acumen also with that of an oak tree. The cool thing about an oak tree is that it starts with a little acorn seed. and you put this seed into the ground. Now, do you know that when you plant an acorn seed, it can take anywhere between 3 to 6 weeks before it even germinates? See, what's happening is that the roots, they must grow down deep and they have to grow down wide. And it's all types of stuff taking place under the ground. See, you don't even see the growth that's taking place within your business because it's you. You don't see necessarily the results, but you're focused on growing in that one space. See, the seed is doing what it's been called to do, and that is being a seed and growing and growing. But also the great thing about the seed is it has strategic partners. It has the fertilizer. It has the ground, the fertile ground. See, the thing about the seed is the seed ain't trying to be dirt. Because if the seed tries to be the dirt, it cannot do what the seed has been called to do. The seed can't be the water, because if the seed tries to be the water, it can't do what the seed has been called to do. It has built strategic partnerships that allows it to focus on being the one thing. But the great thing about the acorn and the oak tree is that it can take over 20 years for it to grow to its full size. Can grow up to be hundreds of feet tall and hundreds of feet wide. But the great thing about this is it can live on for hundreds of years and produce what I like to call legacy. So when you're trying to build this business, number one, I want you to remember to focus. Focus, 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 and repeat. And then the second thing is, remember, you're building an oak tree. Deuces.
All right, family. Let me get back over here. All right. Welcome to another episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. And this is the Black Business Showcase. We're here with another Wednesday special edition. And you know, we've been starting out lately with some messages from some of the master teachers and some of the different professionals in different categories with a short message in the beginning of the shows. But today we actually did the same thing, but the difference with today is we started off with a short message from our actual guest. You know what I'm saying? So that was the guest for this evening that y'all just heard, Miss Taurea Vision Avant, and she's going to be joining us very, very shortly. I just want to give y'all a brief introduction of who's going to be on our show tonight. But first of all, what's going on, Nicely? How you doing this evening?
I'm good. Blessed. Happy to be here. Excited about our guest.
That's what's up. All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat that's joining us tonight. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all share this out on your social media platforms. And just double check to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell so you can get your notifications whenever we go live with new episodes. So now, let me let y'all know who we rocking with tonight. And this is our 6th episode, y'all, of the Black Business Showcase. And, you know, all of our guests have been dynamic so far, very dynamic guests. We have been blessed to have so many people wanting to come on with us and share their story and give us some good business game that we all could use, especially in this climate with the way the world is going now. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, let me give y'all this brief intro right here. Welcome to our 6th episode of the Black Business Showcase. And today, our special guest is Taurea Vision Avant. Taurea is a computer science graduate from Hampton University. She is an author of more than 15 plus books, and the latest include 10K book, Don't Go Broke Trying to Be a Business Owner, and How Not to Be a Broke Author. So she's going to show you how to get the bag, y'all. She's going to show you how to get the bag. She has been featured on ABC, Fox, CBS, and more. In 2009, she founded a Show Your Success LLS, where she has helped more than 5,000 plus speakers, coaches, and network marketers to write profitable books to grow their business. In 2019, she also founded a nonprofit, Urban CEO Network, whose mission is to be the bridge between the urban community and business, career, finance, and wellness success. In 2020, Taurea was able to also add the title of Tedx Speaker to her resume, where she was one of the first to ever do a virtual TEDx conference as a speaker. And that was what you just saw just a few minutes ago. And so let's bring our guest on for the evening, Miss Taurea Vision Avant. How you doing, beloved?
Hey, so I am doing amazing. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
Dope. Well, congratulations on your 6th episode. I'm very honored to be here right when you guys are getting started, man. Yeah, it's gonna be lit.
Yes, thank you for accepting the invite.
Yeah.
So happy, you know what I'm saying? When I reached out, she immediately was like, "Yeah, that sounds dope. Let's do it. You know, let's pick a date and let's get it done." You know, I just love that energy. You know, and I've been tapped in following you for a little while on social media, and you always got great energy and just dropping jewels and just very inspirational. You know what I'm saying? I'll be tapping into your post in the morning and stuff like that. You always giving good information, putting great energy out into the universe. And so talk to us about the beginning of your journey, how all of this started out for you.
Absolutely. You know, it was really funny looking at the video, the TED Talk, because like I'm sitting here watching and I'm just really proud of myself. Well, people don't even know. Let me just tell you, in that TED Talk, I was so nervous.
Okay.
I was so nervous. Y'all didn't know. I was nervous. I was so nervous. At the end, I meant to do my recap. I was supposed to give the 3 tips, right? And I only gave 2. I don't know if y'all caught it, right? I forgot.
So did you do that in one take? So did you do that? Did you do all of that in one take?
That was so. That's the thing. Like when we did the TEDx, for it to count, it had to be a live talk. So you couldn't record it and then send it to them. So I was like,
impressive.
I didn't even know I forgot the last one though, honestly. But yeah, okay. But anyway, okay, so let's go to the journey. Thank you so much. So I said I've been in business for 20 years. What? Like, why am I just you're 20 years old. Sis, come on, sis. So now,
What are you talking about?
Listen, I know. I look at myself too. I'm like, girl, how you turn 40? Where? 40 where? But now for the first 10 years of my entrepreneurship journey, like I was having no success. And I'm gonna tell you why I was having no success. It wasn't because I wasn't good enough. It wasn't because like I didn't have the hustle. I won't focus. So, I talk a lot about that in the TEDx talk, being focused. And I see that with so many entrepreneurs today. Like one day they doing this, the next day they doing that, and then shucks. It's even worse today because social media is an easy distractor. So, you might be focused on business. Like I saw a girl today, super dynamic young lady, and she was talking about NFTs, and she's like, yo, I'm about to stop doing this and I'm gonna start focusing on the NFTs. And while yes, that could possibly be a great move, but for some people, they might need to just stay focused on what they doing. You know what I mean? So for me, 10 years, I was literally a tripreneur. I was not an entrepreneur. I tried everything under the sun. My mom, my second mom up here, I call it my second mom, but she's my mom because I do share my journey of growing up. At 11 years old, I lost my birth mom due to cirrhosis of the liver. And then God blessed me with an incredible mother who's been in my life basically my whole life. And so that's my mom. And then my father passed at 26 years old, when I was 26 years old due to stage 4 lung cancer. And so like I've already had the situation where it was a lot of challenges growing up young, dealing with, what I had to deal with in my household, not to get into that. But I've always aspired to want to do more, right? I've always aspired to want to be an entrepreneur. But for me, I just never had to stick with it. You know what I mean? So one day I would, let me sign up for insurance. And I go try that for one day. I ain't like it. Let me go sell some knives. I tried that for one day. I ain't like it. In fact, my mama, she still got my knives. Can I get my knives, please, Mom? Cutco, right? If anybody knows my Cutco, I think she still got the knives. But yeah, I was all over the place. And let me tell you when I changed my life, like when my life changed. So, and I don't even know if she knows this. So when my father passed away, at that point, I had honestly stopped trying to be an entrepreneur. I started just working a job. I was working as a database administrator after I graduated from Hampton and found out my father was sick. And he survived 7 months past his diagnosis, right? And so when we were celebrating his life, I'll never forget it. It was this Indian guy that I never met, but it was a guy that worked with my dad, and my dad worked with like all of these people like from all over the world, right? And he worked with tech stuff, like he helped fix tech challenges, right? So this Indian guy, he's walking around And I mean, beside himself, like he is just weeping. And I was like, whoa, like I didn't even know my dad impacted people like this. And
Right.
when he was walking out the door, I saw him fall to his knees. It's Indian from India, like not Indian, descent. Lived in America. He's from India, and he fell to his knees. And I remember at that time, I didn't know if my dad knew how much of an impact that he had on people's lives. And so for me, like I really got tired of just trying to be an entrepreneur. And that was the moment then that I made the decision that I was going to go hard. And I moved to Atlanta probably a month later, and I got focused. And long story short, I ended up getting in network marketing, which I never wanted to do, but it taught me so much about leadership and speaking. And then I joined another company, and I was able to have success. Both of those, I earned over 6 figures. And then in 2014, I decided to become a full-time coach, teaching people how to write books. So that's like the shortened version of my story. But man, it's always those paradigm shifts that take place in your life, which allow you to look at things totally different. And I'm so glad that God has placed, a person in my life now, because my mom, well, I'm not always, like, she called me all the time. Y'all, I don't always answer the phone because I be busy. But I'm so grateful because God now has me in a position where I could be able to do some great things for her. And so, like, when I think about the hustle, I think about it, bigger than myself. I know y'all didn't ask me all of that, but I know she's watching right now. I just wanted her to know I'm doing it for you, boo. Okay.
That's right. That's right. I love it.
Well, with those jobs that you had, before moving to Atlanta and while in Atlanta, that also allows you, one, it taught you some things, but it also allowed you to network, right? With some people to kind of help get you where you are. Like, how was that? Because, especially with what you're doing as far as coaching, I'm sure there was some kind of, like, how did you transition into coaching? How did people know that you were a coach? How did you transition into that?
Well, let me tell you something. First of all, I am an introvert, so I hate networking. To this day, I hate going to I don't mind. I could go sit at a bar and meet one person. I'm cool with that. But going to an event and you got to brag about yourself or, do all that. Well, what do you do? What do you? I hate stuff like that. So I tried to network when I first moved to Atlanta. And honestly, it wasn't working for me. So guess what I did? Instead of complain, I created a solution. So I started doing my own events. So I would do my own networking events. They were lunch and learns. And because they were my events, I could control what happened, right? So, which is better. So what we would do is we would all have lunch, and then I would have everybody introduce themselves. And at the end, I would do some sort of a training, right? So that is really where I got into the phase of coaching, because I knew that in network marketing, you got to be willing to go meet people, right? That's the industry where they tell you if somebody come within 3 feet of you, you need to be shoving your product down their throat, right? Like, excuse me, do you want this product? And so I was like, I'm not going to do that. So I started doing these networking events. And long story short, around 2003, 4, I don't really remember the exact date. I fell out of love with the industry of networking. And it wasn't necessarily because the industry did not change my life, because it did. It was just a lot going on. I mean, at that time, one of my closest friends who I hadn't talked to in a long time had got diagnosed with breast cancer. And when I found out, a week later, she was gone. I also found out my grandmother had gotten sick, and I was feeling so bad because I was so busy and I never went to go see her. And, then all of a sudden, long story short, she ended up passing eventually. She took her a while, though, before she did. She fought for a minute. And then I had a guy who I thought was the love of my life, and he ended up, I found out 5, 6, 7 other women thought that he was the love of their life. Okay. So listen, girl, I went through the worst 2 years around that time. I said 2004. I mean, 2012, around 2012. And so, I knew I couldn't stay in network marketing. I was like, I cannot stay in this industry, but I had gotten accustomed to earning a certain kind of income. I knew that a job would not pay me. No shade to anybody that works a job, because I believe that some of us need to be working our jobs so that we can pay for our businesses, right? Mm-hmm. But I knew there was no job. I mean, I'm living in a high rise on the 32nd floor. The rent alone, with no job paid me enough to live in rent. So I was like, what am I going to do? And so guess what happened? I got an invite. That's why, listen, y'all got to stop waiting for the right time. You got, when I get ready. And listen, you ain't never going to be ready. I get a message that say, listen, we see you got this meetup group. This is what I was doing, my networking group. And we have an event space. We would love to give you our event space for free for 4 hours.
Wow.
I said, well, I ain't doing no network marketing meeting. I'm going to do a meeting or something. I'm going to sell something. I ain't know, y'all. I didn't know what I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew this was it. I had asked God, I don't want to be in this industry. Listen, I'm ready to move to the next level. God, I need an answer. And the answer came in the form of, hey, come do. Never, outside of working with individuals. Okay. I never created like a program or any of that. And so my very first event, y'all, I had 61 people that showed up and 4 people joined my program. And I got to keep 100% of their investment, right? I said, wait a minute. These people that invested into coaching, now I got to help them get transformation. And that was 2014. And ever since then, y'all, like, this has been one of the most fulfilling things I have ever done in my entire life, like, period. Like, I love what I do.
Dope.
You were like, Nike, let's do it. Just do it, rather. Nike, just do it. You just did it. And look at you.
So what was your first book? And when did you realize that writing books and influencing other people to write books could take your career to the next level?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So this was my very first book right here, y'all. Hold on, let's focus in. There we go. A Six-Figure Vision. Now, it was initially called A Vision to Freedom. So the reason why I had wrote this book at the time, I was still in my network marketing company. In fact, I was a top income earner in the industry. I was making money, but what happened was I had sat down with this lawyer guy, make a long story short, and I was, he was telling me what he was doing. We had met when I first moved to Atlanta. He just made partner. He's engaged, all these great things. What are you doing? I said, well, I'm selling coffee, right? I sipped on my coffee. I said, I'm selling coffee. He was like, oh, you got your own coffee business? I was like, well, I'm a distributor with this company. And y'all, you would have thought I told that man I was selling drugs, right? Before drugs was legal, right? And so I said, oh, he don't respect me. That's why I was like, oh, he don't respect me as an entrepreneur. So I said, well, how? And come to find out, y'all, it's a large population. So for those of you who are in network marketing, it's a large population of people who still look at networkers as a pyramid and, all the negative connotations with it. And so I was like, oh, let me write a book. Let me tell you something. When I wrote that book, I had networking organizations like, can you come and speak and teach on goal setting? I had bridal organizations. I was speaking at a real estate organization. All these organizations, though, before the book would dare not let me come speak because they know my only business is I'm a 6-figure earner in network marketing, and I'm going to come in here and probably try to pitch y'all about my business. So I tweaked it and said, okay, let me teach goal setting. And then when they come to me, say, hey, can you coach me? So my initial thought was when they said, can you coach me? Sure, you got to enroll into my company. And then when I knew that it was time for me to transition, okay, sure, let me show you how to write a book. So that was the very first book. Now, since then, while I say I've written over 15 books, but I've helped more than 5,000 people to be authors. So listen, I take credit for all of that too. So I mean, we really want to be transparent.
Yes.
The girl got thousands of books.
Yes. Pat's back.
Listen, no more dimming our lights, Black people. No more dimming your lights. I'm sorry.
Shine.
No, I'm feeling that. We need that energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
we need that energy because there's a lot of, and that's one of the reasons why we wanted to do this too, because we know there's a lot of ordinary people out there who are doing the damn thing in the entrepreneurial world. And there's a lot of people out there that just have a lot of self-doubt and disbelief in their own gifts, their own talents, their own abilities. And so people like you coming on sharing your story is a great inspiration for people who just don't think that much of themselves. You know what I'm saying? And their own stories.
Absolutely.
And you also given the tools.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, listen, I love it. Anything that can empower us and and allow us to understand like how powerful we are. Like, I don't know how, well, I do know, but through these hundreds of years, y'all, we have failed to really connect to the fact that we are powerful. And
Right.
we've got to stop dimming the greatness that's within us. And however that greatness is. So another reason why, another thing too, when I say don't dim your light, I don't mean don't try to become somebody else either to shine.
Right.
So all this code switching and stuff. Listen, I talk like me.
And that's a good point.
To be me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Like I know some people will be like, we're not with that, Taurea. No, we got to know how to code switch. They don't code switch.
I understand it. And that was actually one of the things that stood out to me when I was watching your TED Talks. I'm like, she is being her natural self. You know what I'm saying? She's not trying to put on, she's not trying to switch it up, like you said, code switch or none of that. And so my thinking was, okay, she knows who her audience is and she's speaking directly to them. So is that what that's about? Like just knowing your niche, knowing who your voice resonates with?
I'm so glad you asked me that. Yeah, absolutely. See, why would I try to talk like something other than what I'm trying to attract? I like to work with people like me that came from, and this is the thing. Most people are typically attracted to you, like themselves.
Yeah.
What they're looking for is the one transformation. So especially if you sell a product, or if you're in coaching, they're looking for the transformation that you can provide. But when people make a decision to do business, it's because they, especially as an individual, they feel like they can relate to your story. So why would I try to act like something other than what I've been through? You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And by the way, me being me, it also attracts everybody else. I don't work with all nationalities.
Right.
I've worked with all ages. And so I just made that decision. Now, I'm gonna tell you, my TED Talk was a little worse than that though, because I was ratchet. Yeah, her name is Dr. Cheryl Wood. So she's like, listen, Taurea, we know you from the hood, right? But you still got to make sure you want to get your TED Talk accepted, right? Approved. So she helped me, but she said, still be yourself, right? So yeah, I'm a big believer in that. I'm glad y'all asked me that because, especially being Black in business, I think we sometimes feel like, and then people always like, well, I want to cross over. Cross over for what? We spend a lot of money. Why are we crossing over? So be yourself. Now, let me also add this though. The challenge as well that we have as a Black community though, is that we also have to do everything better, right? Yeah. So the smallest mistakes that we make can be overlooked in other communities.
Absolutely.
And so like anything other than exceptional is not accepted. And so that's why when I talked even in the TED Talk, y'all, we got to get focused. Like stop being the jack of all trades and master of none. Now it's okay to know information about different areas, be knowledgeable, but when it comes to the transformation or the product or the service or whatever it is that you want to provide, y'all, we got to figure one thing. Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, Oprah, broadcast. Trump, don't like him, but guess what? Real estate. Absolutely. They all built their empires on one thing. And then now you acquire other stuff, but you still focus on that. So the reason why I think a lot of times that within our community, we don't do things in excellence, it's not because we don't want to. We got our hands in too many fires.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I definitely can relate to that because, starting my entrepreneur journey, I had definitely had shiny shit syndrome. Every new shiny thing that showed up, I was like, oh, matter of fact, I should try that. And I found myself, going through like 12 different learning curves at the same time and getting nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So I had to scale it back and narrow it down and figure out, exactly where's my passion and what is in alignment with my gift that I could maximize on.
Facts.
And we all have an individual gift. I think a lot of mistakes that we also make is we see someone else shining in one aspect and think that's for us too. That's that person's gift. That's not your gift, right? So yeah, like you said, you have to tap into your own individual gift and focus on that and build.
Do not distract it. Yeah, and I feel like a lot of times people always talk about like the shiny. I'm trying to listen. I'm trying not to cuss this for the remainder of the year. So
I'll do the cussing. Don't worry about it.
Okay, you do. So I'm gonna call it the shiny boo boo syndrome. So the shiny boo boo syndrome, right? So a lot of times people like the devil is busy. No, sometimes I think God be busy too. Like God be like, oh, you saying you want this? Let me test you. Let me test you with some. some things of this world. You know, you see whatchamacallit iced out. He said, go do this. He got all this ice. Let me see if you can stay focused. Y'all, stop giving the devil so much credit on your distractions, right? Stop giving the devil so much credit on what is designed to grow you. And so, like, y'all, for real, like, can't nobody come to me talking to me about nothing else. If you're not talking about books, if you don't want to write a book, people talking about, oh, you heard about it. Listen, I ain't got time for none of that. I am the queen of book profiting. I am going to dominate in the book world. Can't nobody tell me nothing. And so that's how you gotta be, y'all. And it doesn't mean that you don't have money in different areas, but wherever your transformation, listen to what I'm saying, whatever your transformation is, you got to be the best of the best. And so as Black people, y'all, I get it. God made us gifted. We able to multitalented, multitask, but that is not how we get to the bag. Get focused on one area and grow that thing. Yes.
Right.
Very, very, very powerful. Very powerful.
Thank you.
Talk about how you incorporate, because you just dropped some good wisdom right there dealing with spirituality, and how that's incorporated into your business as well. Because I be on your lives in the morning and you be dropping heavy spiritual gems, and how does that coincide with doing business?
Well, let me tell you something. Okay, yeah. So I had turned 40 in May. And I kept on hearing, you need to do like a morning meetup group, right? I'm like, man, I don't got time for that, right? Like, I don't want to be no life coach. and so like, I kept on getting it though. Like, and then what happened? I started having some like anxiety challenges, right? I wasn't sleeping. So I was like, all right, let me do the group. So in the group, what we do is it's called Release and Restore. And the purpose of the group is to have a safe place to literally release your challenges out without anybody trying to give you coaching, without anybody trying to give you feedback, without anybody trying to one-up your setback. All we do is somebody shares, we said, thank you for sharing. And we can add, I can relate, right? So in that, I have been able to really release a lot of stuff. And at the same time, when I'm releasing it, I get answers. And the answers come from God. Literally. Right. So every day we also read scripture, right? So we read scripture, we read a devotion every day. And see, I'm a big believer. Now, I don't want to get too deep into this. I'm a big believer that Jesus Christ did walk this earth, but it is a choice. I choose to believe that. And in that choice, I believe that having a connection to someone whose number one goal is for us to love each other better has allowed me to live a better life. And so, yeah, I'm not extremely, you know, how everybody say, I'm not religious, I'm, you know, spiritual. It don't matter what none of that is. I just believe in God. And I believe that his number one thing for us is he wants us to love each other. You know, if I got to love you from afar, look, he's still working on me. But yeah. But yeah, I do believe in anything. If you want to find the answers to some of your setbacks, the first person you got to start speaking to is God. And so, you know, you balance that with some word, speaking it out loud, and he'll give you the answer. Yeah.
Now, is that an important part of your success in business? Like, how does that tie into to the business in your career?
Well, faith. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Listen, sometimes I wake up and I pinch myself because, you know, I coach individuals who are old enough to be my mom. Seriously. And so it's like the audacity. But see, it's called faith. And in faith, you do something that is unseen. And so, yeah, all of that plays with God. I have no idea how this is going to happen. We had a conversation today talking about Lord Jesus. I forget what it was all. It was about praying and just staying at peace with your prayer. Because, you know, challenges always happen. Like right now, I have a conference that I'm preparing for that's taking place this weekend. And we have 100 people that are coming into the conference, y'all. And I always tell people all the time, setbacks always happen when you're about to do something great. But see, because I do have faith and I do know that God would not have me do any of this and give me the vision to do any of this and leave me hanging, I stay in peace, even in the setbacks, even in the big setbacks. And so, yeah, if it wasn't for my belief in him, I would not be where I am. I'm gonna tell y'all another story of how faith has saved me, or how I know God has saved me. So when I went through, and I told you I was going through that deep depression, right? Well, a lot of people don't even know. For almost a year, I was in my bed. So what would happen was I was still in network marketing, and this is when like everything was falling on me back to back to back, and it was so heavy. And for a year, I would go and do meetings, and then I would come home and just get in the bed. And this is when I used to have a TV in my room, which is why to this day now I do not have a TV in my room anymore. And I would just be in my room, and wine was all I would drink because I couldn't sleep. Tissue, just wine and tissue, right? And at the time, I was actually staying with my sister Monica. This is why I'm just forever grateful for her, because when I went through that, she would try to do her best to say, hey, you want some soup? She would always bring me stuff. People had no idea I was going through this, right? So when I ended up moving to a high rise, I thought that's what I needed. I thought I needed to move. So I moved to this high rise, and I wasn't still good. And I remember the last event I ever went to in network marketing. It was the last conference. At this point, I'm living this high rise. It's expensive. I'm driving this expensive car. My income's starting to drop. I lost the love of my life, who I thought was the love of my life. I lost a friend. I was just losing a lot. And I was at this conference, and I remember messaging this guy who's actually passed away now, God rest his soul, that I didn't want to live anymore. And at the time, I was looking up ways to do it. And so, I was in this hotel, and I was looking up the ways. And so one was surefire is like jump off a building. Now, y'all, what's crazy is I'm living a high rise now. I love living in high rises. I'm just afraid of heights. There's not, like, by the time I would have even gotten to the, like, close to it, I probably would have passed out. Like, that's how afraid of heights I am. So I was afraid to do that. Then another way was you can shoot yourself. So I started, I know this is real deep, but I just want y'all to know, because there's a lot of us right now going through this issue, right? I was looking it up, and I was looking at how people was missing it. And I was like, oh Lord, that's the last thing I want, be somewhere to shot off my ear or something, and I'm afraid of guns too, and all of this type of stuff. So I was like, that ain't gonna work. So then I looked up pills, and they said 99% of most people who try that, it don't work. So I was like, okay, well, God, and I promise you at this point, I said, God, if you're gonna make me afraid to do this, I need you to tell me what I'm here for. Because this ain't it. And y'all, I promise y'all, man, that was a very pivotal moment for me. And so, and so when I said earlier, and I asked God what I need, that's when I asked him. And that's when I got an opportunity to do the event. And I had that first. Now, please understand, I've been coaching now since 2014. It ain't all peaches and cream, okay? Like, I'm dealing with people and their personalities and their set situations, but it has been the best decision ever. And I'm grateful that I actually had a chance to go through that, because I can now freely share that story. Because a lot of people, even to this day, there's still people who still do not believe that I went through that moment and I was considering taking my life.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing that, but also thank God that you did, and thank God that he spoke to you, and thank God he gave you this gift that you have to share with us tonight. So, I'm happy that you're with us today.
Absolutely. Because listening to that, I'm thinking, okay, so did the book writing become therapeutic for you? And I'm also listening to it, and I'm thinking, obviously you were going through a state of depression. Yeah. And sometimes depression, which I think in your case is like a blessing in disguise, because at the same time, your gift was making room for you. It was getting people out of your life that was holding you back. It was taking you out of certain situations that weren't serving you. And everything was moving according to God's plan to put you where you're at today. Am I on point?
Oh, no, you are all the way on point. You are all the way on point. In order for you to go forward, sometimes you must be pulled back. In fact, sometimes if you think about a slingshot, when you pull it further back, it goes further forward. So in those situations, then you must understand that sometimes you will have to go through so you can go to, but God ain't gonna never put you so far back to where He gonna leave you. And so what saved me though is because I called for Him. Sometimes we then stop talking to Him. We start ignoring Him, right? I called for Him because I knew that this is I don't have nowhere. I don't know what else to do. And so you're right. Like, if it was not for that, I wouldn't be here today. Like, I would not be here today. If I would have survived through it, I might be in another company not happy. You know what I mean? So yeah, God is good.
Oh,
Yeah.
all the time.
All the time.
Y'all better go ahead.
So, question for you: when getting with other people and you're helping them write their books, do they come to you with an idea and you help them, I guess, get that up in writing? Because sometimes people don't have it written; they have it in their mind. So, do you help them from start to finish, like from mind to pad to computer to printed?
So absolutely. So for me, I also like to say, like, I'm not a book publisher. Really, the audience or the specific kind of person that I work with is either a speaker, a coach, or someone in network marketing. Is hopefully y'all can, because sometimes it freezes. I just want to make sure y'all can
It just froze.
but what they're wanting to do, and the reason why typically
Could-
they'll come to me is because they want to write. It did.
It was freezing a little bit. Just run that back, because I want people to catch what you're saying.
Okay. So I always share with people that I'm not a publisher, right? I'm a coach. And so I'm not just here to help you write a book, right? So most of the people that I serve are typically speakers, coaches, or those in the network marketing space. And they want to write a book that would help them to grow their business, right? And why do I target them? Because that's what I was. When I wrote my first book, remember, I wanted authority. The prefix of authority is author, right? I wanted respect. Right. I never wrote a book because I wanted to tell my story. In fact, I didn't even write this book because I wanted to sell it. I literally needed something where people would respect me as a business owner, right? So typically the person that I want to serve is that person. Now, I'm building an organization of publishers that publish in different genres, right? But when somebody does come to me, yes, I like to work with them from beginning, literally with nothing on paper. And if they do have something on paper, I'm probably going to tell them to scratch it, because 9 times out of 10, it's not even written right. Authors be out here broke. 80% of most authors, they don't make more than $10,000 a year. Listen, you cannot live off of $10,000 and nobody sit there and write a book. I know every single person that wrote a book, and their mind, this was their ticket. I know it. And then you put it out there, and you might have a great launch, and then it sells no more. And so while I'm also the one that's going to help you to create the right book, what really separates me is I teach authors how to promote, profit, and perform. So your book, that's the easy part. The hard part is knowing what to do once it's done. This came out 2012. It still sells today. You don't hear a lot of people that will say their very first book is still selling almost 9 years later. So the key is teaching you how to write the right book, and then how to use it so that you can build a 6 and 7 figure business, hopefully 6 and 7. Like, I really don't work with nobody that wants to make less than 6 figures. So if they do, no disrespect, I love everybody. I might connect them to someone else, because for me to go to 7, I got to help more people get to 6. So absolutely. I ain't got time. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah. The more people you impact, the more income will come.
Hello.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Brother Ben. I took those bars from him. And speaking of bars, you got some bars. You know what I mean? I like how you said I wanted authority, and the root word of authority is author. You know what I'm saying? And also in the TED Talks, when you were talking about the word focus, you had a powerful acronym for the word focus. Can you break that down for us one more time?
Yeah, absolutely. So I got to be honest, I did not come up with that one. That was one that we learned in the industry, but follow one course until successful. Focus. Follow one course until successful. Not all over the place, right? Don't get distracted by the shiny boo-boo things, right? So yeah, that's what that's all about.
I wrote it down. I actually wrote it down. I'm going to add it to my journal.
Yes.
And the other thing was the metaphor about the oak tree. Another powerful visual right there.
Thank you. I love oak trees. I got it tatted. Like, I got a whole oak tree on my back. Like, that's how much I like oak trees, because of what it symbolizes. A lot of times the biggest oak tree stands alone. If you ever think about it, like the bigger ones, they end up surviving alone. Also, oak trees don't break during storms. But the crazy thing about an oak tree is that it takes a long time to grow. And oak trees sometimes can be confused as shrubs when they're first growing. So that's why we can't be focused on what shrubs is doing, because they having quick looking success. We looking like, we thinking we the same. Nah, baby, you an oak tree. You're gonna go way past them, and you're gonna produce more fruit than a shrub. Don't produce no fruit. They produce for themselves. The oak trees produce fruit. And so yeah, I mean, we could talk about oak trees all day long, honey. I love
bars. That's bars right there.
Yep.
I should have been taking notes. I ain't have my notepad ready.
I'm inspired. I just say that I'm inspired. I know for me, I needed to hear this, and I'm sure someone in our audience needed to hear this same thing, just to light a fire, right? And again, focus on course until successful. I know my mind kind of just jumps. I'm always all over the place, and I'm not sure if that's because, I'm a mom, I work, I'm taking care of my house, I'm doing this, and on social media, I feel like my mind it can't focus, but it's I have to make it focus. I have to focus on that one thing that I know that I'm great at until I make that grow into something and hopefully monetize it.
Absolutely.
So do you mind if I coach you a little bit?
Yeah, please.
Do you mind if I just want to say, ain't no hopefully, boo.
Thank you.
You're not gonna hopefully
monetize it. Right.
Yeah. And so this is another thing. As a people as well, we've got to start being more intentional, right? About the things that we say. The reason why it's hard for us to focus? Because I mean, that's why that TED Talk is so fire. Listen, I am going to do another one. I'm going to do it again because they titled it wrong. I'm going to do the same exact talk next time, but we're going to title it the right thing. It is praise where we come from to do a lot of stuff. That has looked good in our communities. Oh, she doing this, she doing that, she killing it in the streets.
Hustling.
But we hustling, right? We overworked, we underpaid, we look like we popping because we might be making money, but you ain't got no life. You don't got no time. Yeah. And so it's listen. So one thing we got to do is let's forgive ourselves for that. Okay, let's forgive ourselves. We're good, but now let's start speaking that of what we desire into our life. Oh, I can focus. I can figure out one thing, right? Figure one thing that I can be dynamic in. Your mom. How can we incorporate what you are dynamic in also with being a mom? Because guess what? You're not the only mom out there who needs what you know how to do. It's something you know how to do as a mom that other moms would look at you and be like, girl, how you do that? And that's your gift right there, right? So yeah, we got to be, and so I'm very careful about as well. Sometimes people hate when I do that though. So I only do that right now. I love you because I love you, sis. But
no, because I do it to other people, but I don't hold myself accountable. Yeah. I'm quick to tell someone, my son, when he be like, hopefully I, pass my test. I'm be like, see, you sound defeated. Don't say, hopefully you're going to do it. No, claim it. So I'm always on his head and other people's head about not speaking like, yet I turn around and speak just like that. So yeah.
Well, that's good. And
I hold myself accountable.
We also got to hold each other accountable, right? Like, don't get so mad. I don't mind. Check me. If I say something out of context, check me, please, right? And we got to know that it's done in love, right? And that's the only thing, because I believe that there is one thing that you could absolutely flourish in, and other moms that are out there, they're needing you right now. They need what you know how to do. Like, it's a need for them. They need you.
Definitely need that accountability. Yeah. That's what we here for. I got you. Don't even worry about it.
Oh,
right.
But I had a question in mind and it just slipped my mind. But I do want to remind everybody to hit the like button. Please share this out with everybody. And if you are new and it's your first time joining us, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you can be notified when we go live with new episodes. This is the Black Business Showcase, and we normally do it on Thursdays. But for the rest of this month, we will be live at the same time, Wednesday and Thursday, for the remainder of November. We have a lot of guests that wanted to come on, and we didn't want to push everybody's date all the way back and have people waiting. So we're going to be live Wednesdays and Thursdays with the Black Business Showcase. And also make sure you join us on our regular show on Sundays, Sincere Love the Godcast, where we cover current events and important topics to what's going on in the Black community. All right.
Also, Queen Cree says she still can't narrow down one thing. I feel you, Queen Cree.
Can I give you a little key, a way to do it? Because I saw her too. I said, okay, Queen. All right, let me give you a way of how to do it, right? So remember, I was telling you, Nice T, right? I was telling you that I was in LA for a month because this one I thought I wanted to be an actress, right? So let me tell you the one thing I learned. So I went through this program where they taught us cold reading. Like, you know, when you go into a audition and they give you the script right then and there or the scene, and then you have to do it right away, right? And so one of the things that she used to teach us was immediately when you read it, I want you to visualize what is that person, what was happening to that person right before the scene. Visualize what they're wearing, what they're doing, et cetera, right? Now, how does this apply to where I'm going as far as figuring out? I want you to think about a moment where you were sitting and you were having an enough is enough moment. Think about the one time where you or somebody did something, it just shifted you, right? The enough is enough, because all of us have had these moments. And my last moment was when I was sitting with that lawyer and he tried to play me. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm about to write a book, right? So that was a enough is enough moment. It's time for me to grow. So that one thing. So I want you to think about that. Maybe you got fired from your job and you were sitting on the edge of your bed, like, what am I going to do with my life? And you know what you did? You put it together and you figured it out and you were able to take care of your household. So you can be able to, so your gift is you knew how to put together something without nothing. And so now you create. So think about how many women who may have recently gotten fired from their job who are like, what do I do? And so you're going to show them how to bounce back from being fired. You see what I'm saying? Now, how do I do that? It just depends on how you want to do it. But because this is the challenge. Many of us, we're looking at the vehicle as the gift. Books is not my gift. This is a vehicle. I chose one, right? And so we're looking at, trading stocks. That's not a gift, y'all. That's a vehicle, right? And so you got to think about, when was that moment where you were like, ooh, and you were, it could be as simple as you're really good at organizing. You came into the house and you were like, and you sat for the whole day and reorganized your house. They have women that have a whole reality show right now, millionaires, and they literally go in to wealthy people's houses and reorganize them.
Yep.
Facts.
So y'all don't confuse the vehicle with the gift, right? So once you figure out, think about something in your life that you're good at. What do people come to you for? And this is a whole business. Maybe people like your opinion about stuff. Okay, it's people on YouTube. All they do is review stuff. That's a whole business, right? So it's just, I don't want us to confuse. And then once you figure out the gift, find one vehicle that you can grow in that you would love to do. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna be doing books forever, but right now, my gift is not books. It's really being able to transform and create ideas out of what you do into multiple streams of income, right? I've just always been kind of like, when I was young, they used to call me bossy. I wasn't bossy. I got in trouble for being bossy. I was just creative. So I would start clubs and be like, y'all need to bring money and stuff like that. And so I learned, I'm just creative. And so I think that that's the one thing. So think about the one thing. And if you don't know, ask your friends, ask your family. If you were to say one thing I'm good at, what would it be? So start there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Of
course, there's a little bit more tweaking, but think about that enough is enough moment, man. Like sitting at the edge of the bed and you like, I need a solution. And you figured it out, because you know how I know, because you're here. And it ain't always money. Right. It might be enough is enough with a relationship. 3 industries that people want to spend money on too. Relationships. So people want better relationships. Now you can niche that down to romantic. We know that's a huge industry. I mean, we got people who ain't even got no husbands and wives out here making millions in the romantic space.
Say that 3 times
another in relationships is friendships and family. There's a whole book, Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Like that book right there is a top selling book still to this day, right? Top seller. Also, another situation of relationships is like relationships in your workplace. So how to build a better relationship with your boss. You could literally create a whole program because you're really good at building relationships. Like your gift is, I know how to build relationships. So now let's create a program teaching individuals how to build better relationships with your boss so you can get their job.
Right.
Hello? Okay, the second industry that people will invest in is money. Now, Black people, we typically want to make it. We now get to that stage where many of us are becoming very wealthy and we're investing. But at first, most of us, all we cared about is show me how to get the bag, right? So now you can teach people about how to make money, right? Pick one way of how to make money. And then also getting into the space of investing, right? And letting your money work for you. And then the third industry that people want to invest in is wellness. So we got two sides of that, physical wellness and mental. Mental has become huge. I had a young lady that came to me. She said, Taurea, I want to help people that's going through trauma. I said, girl, everybody done been through trauma. All of us. That's not going to work. Niches, you got to be niche down. You say I help people, everybody going to be like, well, that's all. My dog been through trauma. Like, come on, right? So I said, let's talk about your life. And this is what I normally do. I said, tell me about your life. I said, tell me about coming up. She's like, well, I went through this and, I lost my mom when I was this age and I lost my father. Okay. And then she was then I started acting out. I said, do you think the acting out started when you lost your mom or your father? And she said, yeah. I said, okay. So do you feel like maybe you had some abandonment issues? She said, yeah, probably. I said, let's Google child abandonment. Do y'all know there are tons of groups for people who are going through child abandonment? They be 50, 60, 70 years old, still dealing with the fact that they lost their parents as children, right?
Wow.
So, and these are all levels of income. Hello? And so it's caused them to have challenges in their relationships because they were abandoned as a child. I said, instead of you helping people overcome trauma, let's make the specific trauma be child abandonment. Why? Because you can personally relate because you went through it and you acted out. You had to get your life together. Right. And now you can help people. So do y'all see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You've gone through, right?
Absolutely.
And you can get into this space. And so even if you don't want to be a coach, maybe you want to do meditation or something. Okay, well, I help people who go through child abandonment problems. I teach them how to meditate. Okay, maybe you want to sell aromatherapy. Well, I help people that went through child abandonment and I give them, aromatherapy things that's going to help them with their anxiety. So that's just the vehicle. But the journey of what you've been through in life, that's what's going to give you your gift.
Yeah, absolutely, right. Absolutely. I don't want people to miss what she's saying. That's some great business gems right there, man. The riches are in the niches. Yes. So be very specific about who it is that you're trying to reach. Be very specific is about who you're speaking to with your products, your services, whatever it is that you bring to the marketplace. Understand who your avatar is.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Break it down to, the age, what do they look like? What do they wear? What do they like to eat? Where do they hang out at? You know what I'm saying? What other podcasts do they listen to? So that you can have a thorough understanding of who it is that you're trying to attract to your business. You know what I'm saying? So that was great right there. I want people to know where they could find you, how they could support you as well. I got your website up here. Let people know how they can support you, what you got going on, what they can look forward to that you got coming up, things of that nature.
Well, absolutely. So this is one of the things that I actually teach my students. I don't send people to multiple different places. The only place I send them is to one site. And this is for those of you who are interested. So this is the thing, y'all. I know who I serve, and that's all. That's who I'm looking to serve. Does that make sense? So I don't need everybody to follow me. Only the ones who are interested in the transformation that I provide. Now, if you follow me because you want to, cool. But I'm looking at, listen, I don't got a long time here on this world. I only got about another 50 years, 50, 60 years. Praise God, I'm going to be 100, right? And so I have to make sure that I'm focusing on the ones he has assigned for me to assist. So right now, who I look for are people who want to be speakers or are speakers, who want to be coaches or are coaches, or want to be great in network marketing, and you want to learn how to grow your business. If you're interested, I have a free masterclass. If you go to 10kbook.com, 10kbook.com, that'll take you to the free masterclass, okay? And that's where I'm going to talk to you guys about generating that $10,000 plus per month book. It is my goal that we're closing this year out, but even moving into 2022, we're going to help more than 1,000 authors generate over $10,000 plus per month. That's minimum, because some of them going to hit a week, some of them going to hit a day, some of them going to have $100,000 months and everything above that, okay? So if you are interested, you want to go check out my free masterclass, go to 10kbook.com. 10kbook.
10kbook.com.
Yes.
Yep. And it's right here. If you guys are following her on Instagram, you can also click the link in her bio, and the link to the masterclass is right here as well. Yeah. So make sure y'all check that out. And you know, everything else that Miss Taurea has going on, you can find right here.
Right.
Yep.
All right.
Yes, indeed.
Right. Cool. So I feel like I'm hogging it. You got any questions you want to throw out there?
I think my mind is just I have so much that I want to ask. Because it's like, you know, I feel like, you know, I have to take full advantage of her brain right now. My brother, I've been kind of pushing my brother, because my brother is a speaker. But he doesn't have a church or anything like that, but he is a minister. So he does minister to people, whether that's in a hospital, if it's at a prison, it's at their home, if it's at a church or, you know, different location. His gift is inspiring people. His gift is literally speaking in front of masses of people, right? And I tell him all the time, like, you got to elevate that. Like, this is your gift. Your gift literally is to inspire. And it's random people that come to him all the time and tell him, when he says, so, you know, you just inspired me. You know what I'm saying? And I just be like, Michael. And so just you tonight, just, you know, I'm like, I have to gift him with, you know, your services, because he needs.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Absolutely. Yeah. Listen, I mean, sometimes I know even like Queen, is it Queen Cree?
Queen Cree in the building.
Yeah, in the building. Can I say this? I believe also our association, our circles, and who we surround ourselves with can also have a true impact on our growth. And so
right.
I haven't always been this way or thought this way. Listen, it used to be a time where my objective in life was to get into the club for free before 12 and get into somebody's VIP and act like, you know, I'm supposed to be in here. Like that was the goal. Okay. We did that. We were winning. You understand what I'm saying? Like, listen, only reason why I am able to think the way that I am now, or the way that I think now, the only reason why I'm able to do what I do now is because I've surrounded myself with the right people. And so if you're up, the thing is, if somebody's already operating in their gift, sometimes all it could take is one person that could change the trajectory of their life and get them in front of the more people that God has assigned them to. And so I'm appreciative for you, sis, for definitely saying that. And for anybody that might even be in the comment that's like, yo, how you coming up with this? Y'all, first of all, well, you know, he definitely is a blessing, but it opened up when I opened myself to be around the right people as well.
Right.
Absolutely.
The village, your village.
Yes.
Absolutely. I want to give a shout out to Reese in the chat. Reese dropping a lot of heavy gems in the chat. We appreciate you, beloved. And it seems like we might have to get you on the Black Business Showcase as well. So make sure you reach out and let us know what you got going on. See if we can have you on as a guest to talk about the financial services and all that.
Yeah.
Our people need that.
Show do. Oh, it was a time I ain't want to hear nothing about no financial services. Now though, we all need to be hearing about
budget.
You know? Yeah, we need a budget is sexy. It's not. It used to be. I'd be like, budget. Yeah. I'm balling. I'm not. Yeah. All right.
Budget is sexy.
Yes.
Yeah, just being organized. Period, especially with your finances. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's something that I'm learning and really trying to get a grip on right now. Just understanding where your money is going. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you be making money and you don't even know where the money went.
Absolutely. And you don't want to be in that place.
Mine in and out.
Right, flying all the way in and out because money comes up and it goes down. See, money is currency, so it flows. So it can be up, it can be down.
Right.
So if you don't know where it's going, child, and on them down much, child, you'll be stuck. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
All right, cool, y'all. Once again, make sure y'all hit the like button, share this broadcast out, and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel as well. Miss
I like
Taurea.
what Reese just said. Network equals net worth. I like that,
Absolutely.
Reese Financial Services.
I didn't even see that one, but yeah, bars.
They've been engaging in the
Bars.
chat. Yeah, it's dropping major bars. I see you guys.
All right, Miss Taurea, I'm about to spotlight you.
Okay.
And I want you to pretend that the whole world, well, the whole Black community at least, can hear you right now. And what you want to tell us, what do you need us to know moving forward that will help us do better with our lives and our financial situations and all of that?
Well, first, thank you guys so much for having me here today. And listen, if you ever want me to come back, just invite your girl. You know, I love to pull up. Listen, I love doing what I do. And so I'm just grateful to God that, you know, he kept me. What I will tell everybody, listen, we about to finish this year off and we're going into the new year. You got to figure out what's going to be your one thing. What is going to be your one vehicle? Also, I will say if you do have challenges with that, start surrounding yourself around people who are operating in their gift. Because it's hard to not want to operate in your gift being around people doing it. Like it's hard to be connected to individuals who are pulling, you know, $100,000, $200,000 a month and me not get inspired, or see individuals who's changing other people's lives and me not get inspired. So make a conscious effort, even if it's virtually, to surround yourself around people who are operating in their gift. It's hard not to want to do it. Okay. Get away from people that ain't trying to do nothing. Listen, I'm serious, y'all. If you truly believe that God has called you here to do something, you got to make sure you're very conscious about the people that you spend time with. Make sure the people you're with, if they ain't trying to do nothing, you know, listen, maybe you can inspire them by you going out and do something. And then they see what you do and they're like, I want to get down with the get down, right? But you got to be careful about how much time you're spending with anyone in your life if it's not taking you to the next level, right? And then I will tell you this, y'all. Another thing for me is I don't like to just wake up in the day and just throw stuff at the wall and hope that it sticks. I'm big on setting my day, setting my goals, okay? You need to have a calendar. You need to calculate the things that you plan on doing for the day. Make sure you're doing what is called income generating activity. For me, income generating activity is activity where I say, this is how much it costs. When do you want to get started? If you ain't saying that, that's not income activity, okay? But yeah, you know, definitely y'all get focused on what you want to do, get around the right people, start, you know, scheduling out your days. And listen, 2022 is going to be so fire. Listen, I like to close everything out with, you know, a special little saying, and I'm going to share y'all with one of my quotes / kind of poems. I don't know what you want to call it, but I like to say vision is the art of seeing what's invisible to others. So don't allow people who don't see what you see to break your focus. In fact, don't you look left, don't you look right. Only stay focused forward on what God has for you. And at the end of the day, darlings, guess what? All will be well. My name is Taurea Vision Avant. I help speakers, coaches, network marketers write profitable books to grow their business. My goal is to help 1,000 authors to get over $10,000 per month, week, or day. Hopefully it's going to be you. I look forward to working with you. Deuces, y'all.
Man, I need y'all to give a digital round of applause in the chat. Was this a fire episode, y'all? Was this a fire episode of the Black Business Showcase? Man, thank you for being with us today.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You just lifted my spirits up. I don't know how everybody else is feeling right now, but
I wanted to shout. I was over here doing the holy dance. You can see, but I was over here doing the holy dance.
Oh, thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I love what y'all are doing too.
Thank you.
I have a question. I like to always ask this with all of our, you know, Black business guests, you know, entrepreneurs, etc. What does freedom mean to you?
Freedom for me. That's funny because, you know, that was the original name of my book. Freedom for me means being able to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, with whom I want to do it with. Freedom also means being able to let go of things that maybe hurt me and being able to forgive. Freedom also means love. You know, it's not always easy to love people that do you wrong, but you know, I'm working listen, I ain't perfect because there's about a couple on my list that I but being able to freely love individuals, even those that hurt you, that's freedom. Loving what you do, loving the fact God woke you up today and you get to be in a space of doing what is good for you. So that's what freedom means to me.
Thank you for that.
Bang, boom, bang, 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 bang. Once again, thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Thank you, Ms. Taurea, for great conversation, great lessons. You know what I'm saying? I know I learned a lot. Hopefully, everybody else got some great takeaways from this conversation as well. Again, make sure y'all join us tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel, where we will be chopping it up with our brother Raheem Shabazz, filmmaker and journalist. He made this movie right here, The Elementary Genocide. Nice. So we're gonna be talking to him about, you know, his entrepreneurial journey as well. So make sure y'all tune in with us tomorrow evening for that as well, and then we'll be back again on Sunday.
Y'all working. Y'all grind.
Working. Yes, we working.
Trying to stay focused. You know?
And Taurea, I'm an introvert. Like, I don't speak. Like, this is public speaking for me. And I still get sick show. I still get butterflies. Aww. I'm sweating crazy. Like, I still haven't gotten over it yet, but I feel like I'm getting there.
Listen, some of the most wealthiest people in the world are introverts. So I hope that gives you a little. Listen, they make the biggest money makers. Think about it. Look at people. Except Steve Jobs was probably one of the few who was very extroverted. But look at a lot of them. Mark Zuckerberg is an introvert. What's his name? Jeff Bezos. No, Jeff Bezos may not. But
maybe Elon Musk.
Elon Musk is an introvert. I did a post where I talked about some of the wealthiest introverts in the world, and a lot of them are speakers. A lot of people don't know Tony Robbins is an introvert. So listen, it's okay. I'm an introvert too, and people don't believe it. I literally have multiple personalities, I think, because people will see me speak, and if you ever happen to be in a place where you get into my inner circle and see me in the house, you be like, "You good?" Because I'll be tired. I'll be like, "I don't want to talk. No, I'm good. I don't want to do a whole lot of time." My mama. Can I shout out my mama too? Hey, Veronica. She's in the chat. That's my mama right there.
What's up, mama?
That's my mama.
Hey, mama.
Listen, that's what I'm trying to do it for. I told her I'm trying to buy a house. I said, "Let me get you a house. What you want?" I ain't even gonna tell you what she told me she wanted. I was like, "Girl, I'm not gonna buy you that."
Got the mamas in the chat.
Mom's house. You understand what I'm saying? Dang, what I was talking about? Okay, introverts. But yes, my mama is not an introvert though. She is not. We did a conference one time, and I had brought this singer to come to the conference. I told her, I said, "Now don't go over there and be talking to her." Next thing I know, child, I think she was over there braiding the girl hair. I said, "Lord." No, you never get over the nervousness, but you learn how to fight through it. And then once you fight through it, you're very intentional about your words, right? And so when you speak, you're more intentional versus just kind of blurting it out. So that's what's going to make you one of the best speakers in the world. You hear what I'm saying? I'm speaking that over you. You're going to be one of the best speakers in the world. Yeah,
that makes sense too, because you become more conscious of it, and so you're more focused on what it is that you're trying to say. I know me, I'll be stumbling all over my words and all that. I just had to learn to accept me. That's how I got over it. I'm like, this is me, this is how I am. Yeah. You gonna rock with me or you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Listen, I be making up words. I make up words. I tell people too. Please don't try to correct me on a word, because I'll be like, but how you know? Because all words are made up. How you know that's not the word? Like, I just decided I want to make a word in the dictionary. Like, don't do me, right?
You said that your birthday was in May. What sign are you?
A bull. I'm a Taurus. Big bull, baby.
My daughter is too.
She is?
Oh, yep, May 18th.
May 18th. Okay, yes, honey. Yep. Yes, she's doing amazing. Yes, the Queen Creed doing a great. I wouldn't even know you was nervous, to be honest. Yeah. I just see that. I see that beautiful African tattoo, girl. I'm loving it. I meant to tell you that before we start. You better come on, motherland.
Shout out to my brother's second son. Yeah. You definitely got to catch this replay, bro. This one was fire.
Yes. Definitely look at the playback. Get all the. If you missed anything, playback.
And make sure you got your notepad handy as well, man. You're gonna need to take some notes for this one.
Yeah.
So
look at me. Look, I'm not playing with those.
again, y'all, you know, we could be here all night, but we're gonna get up out of here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make sure y'all catch us the same time tomorrow, though. We're gonna be kicking it again
Yes.
tomorrow. And so always love and appreciate all of y'all joining us, you know, all the engagement, all the liking and sharing and all of that good stuff, helping us grow. As I always say, y'all are our day ones. We appreciate y'all. Y'all part of the team. You know what I'm saying? And so just remember, we are not the master teachers. We are only the master students and signal boosters for the voices in the new Black media.
Make sure you check us out tomorrow, same back time, same back channel, as well as on Sunday for another great episode as we take you Black to the future.
Absolutely. Peace, family.
Have a good night. Peace, everybody. Thank you, Taurea.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you.
Boom.